as of November. It is called AB 413, or more commonly known as the daylighting law. Simple summary of it is basically you can't park within 20 feet of any crosswalk, whether it's marked or unmarked. If you happen to see a lot of new fresh red paint in the more busier streets, it's probably why. That I know Public Works went around painting new curbs. That ticket is going to be it's $63. So if you happen to notice those issues in your community, feel free to call us, let us know. We'll send somebody out and give them a gift certificate. And if you guys have any issues for immediate assistance, such as somebody's blocking your driveway, blocking a fire hydrant, parked in the middle of the street, feel free to call the station. Just understand that we usually get there within a 30-minute ETA. But if you're more technologically inclined, we do also have an online portal that you can submit a request through as well for more non-emergent issues like reporting an abandoned vehicle, or if you have a more like ongoing concern, you can you can submit that online and let us know. Our office does get that as an email, and then my supervisor does respond personally to each one that's received to let you know, hey, we sent an officer out and this is what happened. We either wrote them a ticket, or vehicle was in the wind, or anything in between. And then let's see what else. If you guys have any issues with street signs or like faded red curbs, we do work with Public Works to address those concerns. I know that a lot of people are concerned about, for example, like handicap parking and red curbs. We want to make sure that those tickets stick, especially the handicaps, because they're pretty expensive tickets. So if you have an issue with, I don't know if they really do a lot of the street handicap stalls in this area, but if it's faded or the sign is unreadable, just let us know. We'll send a work order over to Public Works and they'll take care of that for you. And then if you guys have issues with traffic cones or trash cans being left out on the street, saving parking, Public Works is the one that handles the removal of all of the traffic cones. You just give them a call, or if you have a smartphone, you can download the Public Works app to report it as a traffic hazard, and they'll come out and pick them up. As for trash, it comes out and I think they leave a fine or something. I'm not personally familiar with that.
So the health code violation is leaving your trash cans out, they have to bring them in?
Yes, as I understand it, it's if it's not trash day, I mean, except for like the night before, because I know a lot of people like to leave their cans out the night before. But if it's not trash day, then I believe it's a health code violation. The specific section is, I have it here, it's Title 20, Section 72 of the LA County Code Ordinance. That, I actually do have it here. It says, no person shall place any solid waste or any container containing solid waste at any place of collection before 5 p.m. of the day before, or leave any container at the place after 8 p.m. So they have to pick it up, bring it back inside by 8 p.m. on trash day, and then leave it out no earlier than 5 p.m. the day before. Yeah, and then if you need it, you can call them to report a violation at area code 888-700-9995. Or you go through the public health website and you can file a complaint online as well. Does anybody happen to have any questions for our office? Questions, comments, concerns? I'm sorry? Illegal dumping, that is going to be considered illegal dumping is going to be considered a deputy handle because it's I believe it's a misdemeanor offense, but they can correct me.
What about nearly on the scope of a landfill with seagulls and rats and everything else? Who do I contact?
Well, so for the cleanup itself, you can reach out to Public Works. That they're the ones that they'll reach out to their contractor out to clean up anything that's.
Is that an agency?
Yeah, Public Works. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I can help you with that because there's a problem with dumping on a gyro between Batson and Native.
And so if you can download the app, or I can help you download the app, it's super easy to get on there, and you take pictures, you put the pictures on there, and Public Works has been exceptionally helpful in picking things up. The bad thing is that Athens picks them up, and it costs the county money every time they come to pick them up. So now I'm working on trying to get some signs put up so that we can prevent the dumping. But I can certainly try and help you. Also, Mr. James Yang, right there in the back, works for Public Works, and so he can also help you. So maybe Mr. Yang can give you a little bit of information. For me, what I'm doing is just putting it on Public Works, and then I've talked to Selena, who's in charge of Rowland Heights, when she's called me, and I've talked to Mr. Yang as well. But that's how I've been able to try and get stuff done. It's frustrating because the people just keep dumping, and that's tough, but Mr. Yang is right there in the back, and so hopefully he'll be able to help you.
Eventually, what happened, they did come and pick it all up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the county that did it. It was, they got a hold of the owners, I guess, of the land. You can't see it. It's up on a hill. And so they, it was there for many, many months. And now it's starting again. They're going out there and
So
dumping.
if it's on private property, it's gonna be very difficult. Native Avenue is a private road, and I can't get anybody to pick up from Native Avenue. Public Works can't, because it's a private road, it's private property. So if that's private property, it's probably
I
gonna
have a
be
hard
up
time
to the
believing
property
that it's a
owner.
misdemeanor if you're going on a private land and dumping.
But you gotta get a video of them doing it. If you can get a video, right, it's not
How do you
easy.
get a video of them?
It's not easy. And so it's a challenge. I feel your pain. I've been dealing with it for months.
So she's right, that's one of the things that it's a hard thing to prove, right? You find trash in the middle of the road.
I got
trash.
pictures of it. I got big pictures.
Okay, pictures are good.
I got detailed
I-
pictures of the trash.
Pictures are good, but the thing is, we need to see who's dumping it, right? So we see trash there, and at that point, what are we gonna do with it, right?
And
At
we
that
know
point,
that someone dumped it
right, but who?
Like, I've seen trash.
So we gotta, I don't know either.
there. That would be the same thing if someone
I
robbed the house.
see mail that
Right.
has the address.
So,
of the
and
house,
usually with,
but that's not enough.
usually with
Video.
someone that robs a house, we'll have video or something like that, something to tie them back. If someone's just dumping trash in the middle of the street, I don't know who did it, unless we have video of
So
some.
the county's basically saying we gotta catch the guy in the act.
You gotta.
Basically.
We need to move on to the next speaker, but you know, if you want, Kim can go back there and give you the information that you need.
I do also, I would like to thank you for your help on Native. I appreciate you and for your help on Hero. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. We're gonna circle back to LA County Sheriff's and Deputy Ray.
Hello, can everyone hear me okay? Microphone messes me up. All right, so as far as stats go for the month of January, we had 1 attempt murder. I'll cover that a little bit. No carjackings, robberies 2, assault with a deadly weapons 3, that's down. Domestic violence 8, that's down. Burglaries to residence 15, that's the same. Again, vehicle burglaries are down to 31, so you guys are doing a good job keeping, you know, money, bags, wallets, things like that out of your cars. Burglaries to business are 5, that's down 50%. Grand theft properties are up a little bit at 8. Grand theft commercial 4, that's the same. Grand theft catalytic converters, that's on the rise, that's 16. All right, last month it was at 6. So I recommend you guys go get your catalytic converters etched. The next etching is in Diamond Bar. There's pamphlets up there. The next etching is going to be February 25th. All right, the address is at Calvary Chapel. You guys know where that is? Okay, that's the next etching. It's free. Bring your cars over there. If we could find, we do an obs arrest. We arrest someone with the catalytic converter. It's etched. We could tie it back to yours. Now we have a victim. Now we could get your catalytic converter back and arrest them. Obs arrests are up 21. All right, so we arrested 21 off obs arrests.
What's an obs arrest?
So an obs arrest is basically when it's not on a call. It's deputies out there, you know, doing the work, pulling over cars, going through cars, patting people down, finding crimes, drugs, stolen things. One of the obs arrests we had on January 17th, deputies detained the owner of a vehicle that that was not displaying front license plate and had fraudulent registration. During a search of the vehicle, deputies found multiple bank cards not belonging to the suspects, mail, financial documents, checks, and burglary tools. In total, there were 65 pieces of evidence. Deputies were able to tie it back to 12 different victims, Rowland Heights, and all throughout the county. Suspects were arrested and charged with receiving stolen property, possession of burglary tools, possession of drug paraphernalia, mail theft, forgery, and altered credit cards, to name a few. There's other charges too. On January 28th, the Walnut Sheriff Station conducted a joint law enforcement operation throughout the state. There was some miscommunication with our sheriff, stating that, I believe he said 100 people were arrested in Walnut for human trafficking. That wasn't the case. I just want to clarify that. The operation consisted of 2 locations in Walnut that were search warrant was conducted on, and 2 arrests came out of Walnut. Neither one were involved in human trafficking, but prostitution. All right. And then the intent murder on January 31st, that occurred at the Stater Brothers. Basically, it was a verbal altercation between the manager and a customer at Stater Brothers. Bystander tried to intervene during the argument, and once he intervened, the suspect stabbed him. The suspect was arrested in Diamond Bar. He lived in Diamond Bar, and the victim's going to be okay. So it was basically a heated altercation. So if you guys see this, stay out of, the fights. Call us. We'll respond. It's not worth getting involved. He was trying to do the right thing, try to save the manager from, getting yelled at, but in the end, he ended up getting stabbed for it. So you see something like that, call us. We'll respond, and it's not worth, losing your life over. The last thing I wanted to cover is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the JRIC. It's the Joint Regional Intelligence Center. With everything going on in the world, terrorism is still a threat. On top of terrorism, we have school shooters and things like that. I left some pamphlets up there. This is something that you guys can go on, a website you guys could go on. If you guys see things like people doing surveillance at, critical infrastructure, asking illicit information for, sensitive places, sabotage, tampering, things like that. There's a whole list of things you guys could look through. If you guys see evidence of that, you guys could go on the JRIC website and fill out what's called a SAR. There's law enforcement side of it and the civilian side of it. You guys would be on the civilian side of it. It's very helpful. It goes throughout every law enforcement agency in the county, and they'll determine, and if it's a big enough tip, they'll determine if it's something usable, or you guys could stop something in the process. So make sure and grab one of these, and help us out with that too. You guys have any questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, I just live down the street, Pathfinder and Annandale. Last Monday night, early Tuesday morning, both sides of the street and the 2 streets adjacent to it were burglarized. People were walking down the street and opening up mailboxes and stealing all the mail. I just want to make you apprised of that, so maybe you can...
Do more patrol checks in the area?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Do you guys have cameras in the area?
Well, some do, yes.
All right. Did you guys call, make the reports? Do you know?
No, nobody called. It didn't go by my house, but it went down Annandale, Arkdale, Calumet.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Hopefully this is the guys that we caught, but it keeps happening. You guys have to call. If there's mail thefts, it's a federal offense, but we'll also write the report. So it's something you guys need to make us aware of. If we don't know that it's happening, you guys aren't making the calls, the reports aren't being written, then when they do pull over someone like I explained, we're not going to be able to tie it back to anything.
Okay, I just wanted to make you aware of it.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A friendly suggestion is to ask your neighbors to get locked mailboxes. They were stealing mail on our street. I have a cheesy little locked mailbox, but I'm going to tell you, I haven't lost a piece of mail since I put that little lock on there. It's enough of a deterrent.
Yes, sir.
I was curious to know, there was a situation on, there was someone cut the cable on Bray Canyon Cutoff. I think it was fiber optic cable. It was Frontier out there fixing it. And they said that they cut the whole cable.
Yeah.
So what would be the motivation for cutting?
So
the
if
cable?
it's the one thinking of, we actually ended up arresting that guy. I don't know if that's the one Kerr got. It is the one Kerr got. So he's dumb, and he thought that there was copper in it. So
Oh.
he's attempting to get copper. That's what the motivation was. But
Okay.
something like that could also go back to what I was talking about, the J-rig. Messing with critical infrastructure
Yeah.
could be a sign of a terrorist attack or a pending terrorist attack, something like that. Not to scare you guys, you know, this guy was just, you know, out there trying to collect some copper and you know, sell it for some quick money, but yeah, and we actually ended up arresting him, so.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? All right, guys. Oh, and I'll talk to you about I talked to that lady about the dumping after.
Can I ask one more question?
I'll talk to you about it. Yes, of course.
I had a question about the catalytic converters.
Yeah.
When the catalytic converter is etched and say it gets stolen and then traced back, how does that like benefit the victim? Because it's very expensive to get them replaced. Are they able to like, I don't know, they have to file a lawsuit?
It is, and hopefully by then the insurance covered it. But I mean, if they do have any sort of funds, money, stuff like that, what is it called when they get the restitution? Thank you. Hopefully they could get something, and you guys could get restitution for the Cadillac.
Okay, well, I drive a Prius, which is like a car that is
Oh, I drove
notorious
one
for
too,
getting
yeah.
catalytic converters
Yeah.
stolen. And on like the third or fourth day I owned the car, I paid $700 to $800 to get a cage installed on it so that mine wouldn't get
But
stolen.
on top of that, now we have a victim. So if we find a bunch of catalytic converters, what we do is called a reasonable cause arrest, right? We don't have a victim for these. But now with the etched, and it comes back to you, we have a victim. You are a victim of that crime. So now the DA is able to add more charges or put more time or put a face to the crime.
Okay, thank you. I just want to learn a bit more about the
Yeah,
process.
of course.
Does it also deter? the
Deter, I would say no.
No?
Possibly, but I mean, when they're down,
They probably don't.
I doubt that they're looking at your, to see if it's etched or not.
they do have things that will deter. I believe it's like the gate, like the,
Like if it said if it's
Cage.
etched, maybe they won't, just like you put no copper on the FiOS line. then
hopefully. These guys aren't the smartest though. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the California Highway Patrol. Is it still Officer Guzman? Because I saw Officer O'Toole. Both of you, okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Officer Sonia Guzman, and you all know Brian O'Toole. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce our newest Community Outreach Police Services Unit officer. That's going to be Officer Lamone. We're going to have her just, share a little bit about herself, and then we'll get right into the stats.
Hey guys, like you said, my name is Officer Limon. I've been with the California Highway Patrol out of Santa Fe Springs going on 4 years now. I'm really excited to be a part of the team with Officer Guzman and Officer O'Toole. I do actively still patrol the beat. As a matter of fact, today I am assigned to the unincorporated area here in Hacienda Heights and Rowland Heights. So if you guys see me out and about, feel free to stop by, say hi, and talk to me. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about traffic collisions. So December 2025, for the area, we had 32 traffic collisions. And then last month, we had 36. So that was a 12% increase. We do have some important updates. We do have 5 new officers that are going to be reporting to our area next week. So a week from today. So that means more patrol out in the area for you guys, more enforcement, right? Yes, yes. We're very happy when we get new officers as well. They've been very gracious with transferring them over to our area, so we're happy as well. We do have the Chinese Lunar New Year coming up on the 17th. We're going to have a safety booth, so we hope that some of you might just, stop by, say hi, come get to know us a little bit more, talk to us, but we will be there all day. Looks like we have some possible rain coming up this week and next week as well, so it's just a reminder again to slow down, right? For the roadway conditions, check your windshield wipers. It took me a minute to figure that one out. And then as well as the tire pressure, right, on your tires. So all of those things are going to keep you safe in the roadway, but most importantly, slow down. Another important update, and actually this is probably the best one I think, we had a freeway shooting that occurred on January 31st around 5 p.m. and that was on the 91 freeway. I know it's not particularly this area, but the victim vehicle did have 2 children. Nobody was hurt despite there being multiple rounds shot into that vehicle. So we have a major crimes team unit that works out of our area, and they worked diligently on this case. So on February 4th, with the help of Covina PD, they made an arrest on a suspect. The suspect was charged with shooting at a vehicle as well as child endangerment and is currently held on bail for $1.65 million.
Great.
All right, Officer O'Toole actually had a few more stats to go through.
To follow up on what Officer Guzman just said, the statement from the victim was that he just got on the freeway and the car in front of him was going too slow, and he literally made a hand gesture to go faster. That's all it took to tick this guy off and cause him to shoot the vehicle. So if you look in your rearview mirror and you see a hand gesture, you don't know if they're holding up all 5 fingers, 1 finger, whatever it is, don't make hand gestures. They're, you know, whether you're giving the guy a thumbs up or the middle finger or tell him to go on or whatever it is, it doesn't take much to tick some of these people off. And, you know, it literally, this guy's finding out the hard way that, you know, it's the wrong thing to do. So just let it go. Even if it upsets you, let it go, let them go on, exit the next off-ramp, let them get about 2 miles ahead on the freeway, and then get back on the freeway and you'll never see them again. So kind of a easy solution to that problem. Yesterday we had 8 people that celebrated the Super Bowl a little too much and they were arrested by the California Highway Patrol for DUI. One unfortunately was involved in a traffic collision and there was a minor injury involved, so that was a felony arrest. 7 others were just straight misdemeanor DUI arrests. The final stat, and I believe you brought it up last month about the Pathfinder Speedway. We have an officer that patrols there in the afternoon, and we have 2 motor officers that patrol there in the morning. Since we last spoke last month, we've had over 130 citations issued, and the highest speed was 84 miles an hour. Pathfinder is a 45 mile an hour roadway. The average speed is about 65 to 70 that they're getting them on radar. So we're out there, we're trying to get, you know, make a difference. We didn't have any major collisions this month, so I guess that is, you know, some of an impact that we're making, but we're going to continue to be out there because business is good out there, so we're going to continue to be out there. So
Thank you so much. I've seen you guys out there, so thank you so much.
you're very welcome.
Are they racing out there?
Well, I think they're trying to beat the freeway is what they're doing. They can, you know, it parallels the freeway, so they're trying to get, you know, beat whatever the speed that is. So I'll take any comments, questions, or concerns. Yes, ma'am.
For the Pathfinder on Annandale right there, enter into Pathfinder, do you guys, like, it's quite a dangerous area. I believe there was an accident that happened in December, and I only know of one because that person that got in the accident was my daughter's friend. But I drove that route all the time, and it's quite dangerous. I wonder, beside you guys being on site patrolling, is there any way that, like, we can put like some sort of a speed bump to slow traffic down?
That was brought up last month.
Yeah?
Pathfinder is a major route, so they're not going to put speed bumps. James is going to attest to that. The best we can do is patrol and put up signage and just slow down. It's, you know, the traffic lights are few and far in between on Pathfinder, so that's why the people get a good head start and get some speed going. Best we can do is patrol it. And I understand Annandale is kind of a hot corner right there, and that's where our officers do sit to shoot the radar because they are coming down the hill at that location, coming westbound.
Yeah.
So that's where they shoot the radar at.
Okay.
It's at your own risk. You know, I mean, I guess it takes, you know, unfortunately it might take somebody to get seriously injured or killed to maybe to put a traffic light somewhere in there.
Yeah,
That's something that James could attest to
turn
or
right
answer.
onto Pathfinder and,
But
yeah.
this traffic lights, as you know, are few and far in between on Pathfinder, so that's kind of the reason for that. But speed bumps will not be an option. I think people will find it more
Hopefully
as
it's
an
not going to
opportunity
take
to
someone
see how
else's
far they
life
can fly their car
to end
as
up
opposed to
with
slowing down.
something.
What you can do is speak to Mr. Young and see, I mean, we can all try and get a signal there, right? A signal would make a difference. But we gotta do more than just tell him. You gotta talk to Mr. Young and see what we need to do as a community.
Any other questions or comments? Yes,
See
sir.
what we can do as a community.
I understand this conversation to Gray Canyon cutoff, which Pathfinder's 4 lanes and it's well paved and well lit. and it's got traffic lights, and it's fast. Bray Canyon Cutoff, I mean, it's just a matter of time before someone gets killed there. They're at 4 in the afternoon. I've been there 30 years, and when we first got there, I mean, it's just a sleepy little country road.
Are they going south from the freeway going home?
Bray Canyon Cutoff between Pathfinder and Bickford.
Are they going southbound?
Yeah, going south or north, either way.
Okay.
And ever since about 6, 7 years ago, it grinds to a halt. The traffic is so bad it grinds to a halt. There's a lot of 18-wheelers. It's 2 lanes, very narrow, no shoulder.
No, I know.
And it's crumbling. It's just crumbling. It's almost as bad as my driveway, which is pretty bad. So, you know, I don't know is there any plans for Bray Canyon Cutoff?
As far as
A
repaving it?
A light? Well, I mean, doing anything at all. Any plans for?
Again, that's something you can ask James here in a little bit.
He's with the
County Roads. County Roads.
Public Works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time since I've taken read the handbook for the DMV, but I'm pretty certain that we still are required in California to make complete stops at lights and red lights and stop signs.
It's encouraged, yes.
It's encouraged, yes. It's not optional, right, anymore. It's still a law. So, I mean, is it still a law for officers to stop too, or is that something that they can?
It depends on if they're going to a call or not.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because of this city especially, so I live here. It's like if they don't see anyone coming, they're gone. They don't even think about stopping. As long as there's not a vehicle in harm's way, they just right through it. So I just wondered if we could put a little bit of a chain on that.
I'll put an emphasis on it. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move right along to the Office of Supervisor Solis. Andrea Moreno.
Thank you, Yvette, and good evening, everyone. Do you need a little standing break? Seems like you've been sitting down for a while. Maybe you want to stand up a little bit with me. You know, just do a little. That was a lot of information, right? We gotta move a little bit so that we can, you know, get back into a little bit more information. So I just have a couple of announcements, and then I'll open it up for questions. The first thing is, last month I shared with you the Veterans Expo. Unfortunately, we have to reschedule this event. So if you were planning on attending, please know that we're gonna be getting a new date. So this is no longer happening in March. The next thing is the construction notice from the Council of Governments, SGB Council of Governments. So as you know, well, you may know, right, that there are some closures happening along the 60 and the 57. So there is going to be a lane closure, you know, starting tonight, February 9th. So more dates as well this week, including the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So this notice gives you specifically, right, what some of those closures are in case you're taking that road. I think the Parks Department will share a little bit more, but as was shared, right, there is Lunar New Year coming up, not just here at Pathfinder, but across our county parks, and so definitely encourage you to come out and, you know, help us celebrate Lunar New Year as it's coming up. And then lastly, there are some free swim lessons that the supervisor is sponsoring at the new aquatic center. It is the regional aquatic center in La Puente, but it is for everyone in this region, so that includes unincorporated La Puente, unincorporated Hacienda Heights, and of course, unincorporated Rowland Heights. I've been hearing a lot of positive feedback, especially for seniors and kids that are going out there and enjoying this new free swim lessons. And then lastly, we do have a basic training. So the county has what they call Delete the Divide initiative. The Delete the Divide is an initiative by the department called ISD, Internal Department Services. And so they are looking at all of the technological changes, right, that are happening, and obviously we don't want our communities left behind when it comes to accessing internet and other services. I think we heard today a lot of important information, especially as it relates to reporting. So Kim, for example, brought up the Works app, and that is a major way that you can connect with the Department of Public Works. And so again, if you know somebody that maybe doesn't feel as comfortable with technology, please check out the basic training that the county is offering right now. Those are the main updates that I have. I will open it up for questions now. Ken.
Okay, so a couple things. I appreciate you giving me a call the other day to chat about a few things, and I appreciate Deputy Ray and Mr. Yang, everybody that's helped me try and get some things done. Parking enforcement, it's fantastic. I'm a little concerned about the battery storage center that City of Industry has proposed. I went to that meeting Thursday, a week and a half ago, and it seems as though City of Industry does not care how it's going to affect the surrounding communities, and that's going to make a big difference on our water prices, electricity prices. If something catches on fire, it's not going to be contained behind their little wall that they're talking about nicely covering with vegetation. And so I would really like to hear if Hilda Solis can do something to try and help us. I'm assuming she's the representative for City of Industry as well?
So I'll talk, I can address.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So the question was about BESS. So BESS is Battery Storage Facility. City of Industry is proposing, or they got a proposal from a developer, right, to build a BESS in their city. The supervisor, like you mentioned, is very concerned about the environmental impacts. She's a huge environmental justice advocate, so that is a main concern for her. If a BESS were to be proposed in Rowland Heights, for example, I can tell you right now, she would not be for that. Additionally, I know that our Department of Public Health, they also have concerns, and they're working on a white paper that is going to talk about the effects of having a BESS near residential areas. I think what is challenging for our region is that the county, although yes, is represented by 5 supervisors, right? And so it is divided into 2 million people per supervisor. And the Supervisor Solis specifically does represent the area of industry. The county does not have jurisdictional authority over independent cities. That's really why cities decided to incorporate, right? Because they wanted more autonomy about how they go about their land use. And land use, zoning, that is the ultimate power for local governments. And so the City of Industry, as an incorporated city, has that autonomy granted by the state, meaning the county does not have jurisdiction over how they administer their land use. And so that is why we fully support the Department of Public Health working on this white paper. There's a lot of information that is still unknown. There's a lot of risks. And we can't just take an action and not think about the consequences. I mean, how many times have we had to do that? Especially here. In the 1st District alone, I can tell you, Exide, was built just on the other side of Vernon and has continued to have health consequences for the residents in that neighboring community, not just Vernon, but East LA and the Southeast city regions. When the Supervisor Solis first came into office, that was a huge issue because Exide closed down, they went bankrupt. And what happens to the mitigation, to the cleanup, to the lead in people's houses, right? That was one environmental justice issue that she really had to focus on when we came in. Now we have new environmental challenges as we continue to experience growth. Obviously, innovation is very important. Workforce is very important. We're always going to be looking out, especially at union and labor and what their needs are. And at the same time, we can't ignore that there could be environmental impacts. And so for that reason, she's not comfortable at all with any BESS in unincorporated areas. But the challenge in our region, again, is that we, the county, do not have control over land use matters in the cities that neighbor us. And so I think this is going to be, you know, the fight of our generation, of our time, to understand fully what the consequences and what we should be preparing for. You know, there are a lot of things that are going on in the city of Industry right now, data centers, and not just industry. Actually, you've probably heard in Monterey Park, you've heard in other areas, right? This is a conversation that a lot of residents are having, and I think we'll continue to have. And so that was a very long-winded way of saying she's not supportive of BES in residential areas.
It's a 10-acre parcel that they want to store batteries on, and the problem is that these batteries get really hot. And so they pull from water from the surrounding communities, which means that the water for us gets depleted, which means the cost of our water goes exponentially higher. If that center catches on fire, there's no way to put those fires out. They burn for days and days, and they release lots of toxic gas. They just had one, and they said, you know, it was state of the art, blah, 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 all these safety features. And when the thing caught on fire, now what? It burnt for like a week. And it's not going to stay in the city of Industry. It's going to go to Hacienda Heights, Rowland Heights, Diamond Bar, Walnut. It's going to leak out into all the surrounding areas. But City of Industry has 250 residents. That's it. So they get to do whatever the heck they want, and nobody protests. And so I'm going to see if we can get some speakers in here to educate us. The BES centers are supposed to be precursors to a data center, and they're proposing that the data center be put at the old Puente Hills Mall. And that's City of Industry. But guess what? Rowland Heights is directly across the street. And if that data center goes in, it's going to be another big mess. So I think we really, really need to talk to our friends, our neighbors, everybody, so that we can get anybody and everybody involved to put a stop to it before it gets going any more than it already is. So I'm going to see if we can get somebody in here to speak to us, and I'm very happy to hear that Representative Solis is willing to support us. However we need to do that, I think that that's going to be very important. And it may not affect my generation, but it's going to affect the generation that has kids. I don't have kids, but I'd like to make a difference for someone else.
Well, this is our generation, no matter how old you are. You are here today. So thank you, Kim. And then one point of clarification. We did reach out to the City of Industry because we did hear from other folks concern about a data center being built at Puente Hills Mall. And what they shared is that they haven't received a proposal for a data center at Puente Hills. They are working with a developer. They didn't say what they're trying to develop, but they did explicitly say that this developer does not develop data centers.
I hope you're right.
So, that is the information that when I get a call, I try to find out what the information is, and so that's what I got from them. So just wanted to share that with this group as well.
Thank you.
I know we're going short on time, but really quickly, James, if you wouldn't mind joining me up here for a second. This is an impromptu situation. I know he's going to be back up here again. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew James. James is amazing. He's been here a long time, and he knows a lot of the streets and the specifics when it comes to road work, when it comes to studies of traffic. So I don't know if you want to talk just a second about any traffic studies happening near here.
I was just talking to that
young
lady over there. That for Animal and Pathfinder, in the past couple of years, there's a couple crashes and a lot of reported high speeds. And our department did an extensive study, and the traffic signal was what it met the warrants for a traffic signal. So now we're in the process of looking for funding. Once the funding is secure, we'll start design and construction. Design and construction takes about, I would say about a year or so. Design takes about a year or so. Construction takes even longer. The procurement, the lead time to procure the traffic signal poles nowadays about 18 months.
My God.
So I was telling her it's probably
Can
going to
we
be
find
like
a dummy
3
to
or 4
go
years
steal
down the
one
road.
from somewhere?
No, unfortunately, we have a couple temporary poles we store in our yard, but that's for like if an accident happens, then we'll pull these poles and replace the existing infrastructure. But the new ones, we just can't foresee, and they come overseas, and the lead time is about 18 months on these. Ever since COVID, after that, the lead time is about 18 months now. And these traffic signal used to cost about $250,000 pre-COVID. Now it's about $2 million for construction.
Maybe they should put that at the proposed best center.
Very, very, very expensive.
Maybe we should build those poles at the proposed best center. That'd be a great idea.
I don't mind. They bring manufacturing back to city industry, I guess. But if you guys notice any, if you notice there's an unsafe intersection, or you notice, if you're on a residential street, you want to request for speed humps, you're welcome to contact our department. What we do is we come out, we have our traffic engineers come out, they do a study. If it is a really black and white thing, if it meets the warrants, the warrants are set by state requirements. If it meets the warrants for a traffic signal, a stop sign, they will put it in. If it doesn't meet the warrant, they will come back and tell you it doesn't meet the warrants, but they can recommend additional measurements like maybe additional speed limit signs pinned down the street, or additional signs on the side, maybe some driver feedback signs, the electronic one you see when you pass by, it shows you what speed you are at. But it's pretty cut and dry for them. But you guys are welcome to call us, and if it didn't meet the warrants the first time, you can call us about a year later, because traffic pattern changes, right? Because so you can, we typically wait about a year, and if people call us back saying, last time it didn't meet any warrants, but speed continues to occur in our street, we still feel unsafe. After a year passes, we'll do another study.
Thank you.
Where was that light traffic signal?
Annandale and Pathfinder.
And it didn't go well, or?
No, it did. It didn't meet the requirement for traffic signal.
So there's no traffic signal there?
Not yet. Yes.
So it did meet the warrants or not?
It meet the warrants. So we are looking for funding. After funding is approved, then we'll start the design, and after that is construction.
Oh, good. Okay.
So who can we contact for
I'll give you my business card. Okay.
Thank you, James. Really appreciate it.
Okay, I don't think we have any other supervisors, congressmen, field reps. I didn't see anybody come in, so we're going to move on to, I believe it's the Parks and Recs, but I think he just walked out the door, so we'll circle back on him. And so we'll move on to, the library's not here today, we'll move on to Mount Sac, and we'll have Dr. Malva Castro come.
Hi, good evening. My name is Dr. Melba Castro. I'm the Vice President of Student Services at Mount San Antonio College. I have a few updates, and also I'm available if you have any questions or need any support. Just one highlight is our semester starts February 23rd. So if there are any students still looking to register for spring, our semester does start on February 23rd, and we are open and available to help. Also, we have a fantastic resource on campus that will run starting in February. It's our VITA program that offers free tax help for the community. It is free. We have this service in English, Spanish, and Mandarin. There is no appointment required. The services are offered at Mount San Antonio College in Building 79. And this will run every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., starting the 28th of February all the way through the 11th of April. And so, again, these services are free, especially for individuals making less than $69,000 a year. One wonderful resource that we also have at Mount San Antonio College is we have a beautiful planetarium. If you have any preschool age loved ones, we also have special programs from preschool all the way up. So on February 20th, just to highlight, we have everything from a beautiful show with Big Bird exploring the Little Dipper, the North Star, the Sun, and the Moon, but also another show starting at 6 p.m. Romance in the Stars, you only have to be 16 years. Meditation Under the Stars at 7:30 p.m. as a highlight. And the shows cost $4 and $1 for seniors. So that's an ongoing resource that's open to the community. And lastly, Mount San Antonio College offers various college classes at local high schools under dual enrollment. If any students are looking for also opportunities in the summer, which is a nice opportunity for them to enroll directly also at Mount San Antonio College. High school students can enroll for free via dual enrollment, and it is also just a wonderful resource and something that I've also done for my own high school age daughter, taking classes at Mount San Antonio College for no cost. So again, wonderful resources, and if there's any questions, I'm available here to support.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to Rowland Unified School District, and I believe it's Dr. Kevin Hoga-Kiowa going to give the address.
Thank you. Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
It was when I
Yeah.
got it.
Maybe the battery just...
It might have. Do we have another mic?
Thank you, Brandon.
Where does he from?
Hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you, Brandon. Once again, my name is Dr. Kevin Hayakawa. I'm the board member for Trustee Area 5 at Rowland Unified School District, and your local concerned Prius driver. I just wanted to take a moment of personal privilege to thank you all for being here tonight. It's been great to connect with different community members. We have Mary Price here. I went to school with her kids when I was younger. I hope that Sabrina's friend is feeling better and isn't too disheveled by the accident. And then I just had the moment to meet Mr. Dr. Edwards, who's a math professor emeritus at Mount Sac. I went to school with his kids as well at Ibarra, Rincon Intermediate School, and Rowland High School. So it's really just a wonderful community that we have. But anyway, on behalf of the Rowland Unified School District Board of Education, we want to wish our entire community well wishes for Black History Month and a happy Lunar New Year season, Year of the Fire Horse. Schools across our district are hosting many different events to celebrate these occasions. And as a district, we are extremely proud to announce a historic accomplishment for Nogales High School. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 seniors, senior scholars have been awarded the 2025 Quest Bridge National College Match Scholarship, which connects high-achieving high school seniors from low-income backgrounds with full ride scholarships to the nation's top academic institutions. So these 4 Nogales High School nobles are Jairo Albaran, who will be attending Northwestern University, a top private research university in Illinois. Jayla Guzman Murillo, who will be attending Wellesley College, a private women's liberal arts college in Massachusetts. Tamar Rosas, who will be attending Amherst College, a liberal arts college in Massachusetts. And then Tanner Yoakum will be attending Bowdoin College in Maine, also a private liberal arts college. Each student has received early admissions. They've already been admitted. They've received a full 4-year scholarship, which includes coverage for the full cost of attendance, including tuition, housing, food, books, supplies, and travel expenses with no contribution necessary from the parents and no student loans. These life-changing scholarships for each student is making their dreams of attending college a reality. And the combined value for all 4 of these scholarships totals $1.6 million for just these 4 students. We are incredibly, incredibly proud of them. And in fact, it's gotten local press coverage. These 4 students were featured on Telemundo Morning News this morning, and they were honored at our board meeting last Thursday by the Board of Education. So congratulations to those 4 scholars. For perspective, parents and students, enrollment is now open for the upcoming school year in Rowland Unified School District. Families are invited to a transitional kindergarten and kindergarten parent information meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, February 10th at 9 o'clock in the morning in person at Giano Intermediate School, and there will also be a hybrid Zoom option for any parents who want to join virtually to learn more about TK, kindergarten, our district's fantastic dual immersion programs in Spanish and or Mandarin, and then more information can be found on our website at rowlandschools.org/enroll. And then lastly, RUSD is hosting our annual school readiness events for families with children who are between the ages of 3 and 5. It's called Kinderfest, and this year it's going to take place on Pi Day. It's going to take place on Saturday, March 14th from 9 o'clock in the morning until noon at the district office just down the street. Families will experience what life looks like in transitional kindergarten and kindergarten in RUSD. And there are multiple things to explore, so we set up a little cafeteria where the kids can practice punching in a 4-digit number, and they'll get a full, typical healthy meal that they would receive at school. There is going to be a classroom space that they can explore, as well as tabling, different booths where parents can speak with teachers, teacher experts from the various programs in our district. In addition, children can, it's going to be ocean themed this year, so kids can participate in different activities, including a seashell dig, arts and crafts, having fun with STEM robotics, and then even taking their first steps onto a school bus that we'll have parked in the parking lot. Families can pre-register as early as now at rowlandschools.org/kinderfest. And the first 250 families to register will receive a free special Kinderfest bag. I'm happy, that's it for my report. I'm happy to take any questions that any community members may have. All right, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're going to go on to community groups, and I believe the Kiwanis, Mary Price, is going to speak very briefly on an upcoming event.
Yes, if allowed. I'd rather get you in now.
Thank you, Beth. So on March 21st, our Kiwanis Club of the Heights, you're going to be like, why is it not Rowland Heights? So last year, Kiwanis Club of Rowland Heights and Hacienda Heights, we joined force and we merged. So now it's called the Kiwanis Club of the Heights. We work really closely at the community base, supporting both Rowland and Hacienda Heights. And in the coming March, we have a literacy fair, which is open to everyone of all age. We'll be giving out, free books, encouraging readings, and we have Princess Belle coming to read to the younger crowd by noontime, and then everything is free. We're giving out books, brand new books, or any other books. If you guys are interested, I have my flyer here in multiple language, and also once the dance sponsor, Supervisor Solis is one of them, and then we have Ethan and Rowland Water within our community. They are very supportive. David and Terry Malcolm. And then other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to come and ask me. I have my phone number and my email over here as well. If you have any kids, let them know there's a writing contest. The writing contest topic this year is going to be what community means to you. I am interested in hearing what those kids have to say about our community from their ideas and what in their world. So I know some of you might be teachers. If you're interested in judging, please let me know. We're looking for judges as well. And of course, I want to thank Yvette for volunteering her time. And so yeah, that's for now. And thank you for allowing me the time.
Okay, we're going to move on to our presentations, and I believe we're going to start with the TTC, which is the Treasurer and Tax Collector, and they're going to be speaking on short-term rentals update. They were here last year sometime, and so they're going to give us some updated information on different things. We have, is it still Omar? No?
Frank, and this is Ricardo.
Oh, we'll have Frank and Ricardo then.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Washington. I'm the supervising inspector for short-term rentals at TTC. This is Ricardo Ramos. He's one of our leading inspectors for short-term rental. Before we get into the presentation, I want to say that Rowland Heights is our main area for short-term rentals. We get most of our complaints via the Rowland Heights area, La Puente, Hacienda Heights. So this area is mainly the epicenter for short-term rentals, or we get a lot of complaints associated with people calling in or emailing us about checking it out to make sure that people have the right permits or that they're conducting themselves properly for the overall well-being of the community. So I'll take questions after, but let's go ahead and brief overview of STR. It's simple. The ordinance aims to balance economic benefits of short-term rentals with potential impacts on housing, neighborhood character, and residents' quality of life. The implementation, 2019, Board of Supervisors got together. 2024, they discussed it again. We went into effect October 7, 2024. We were brand new at it. We were sort of the babies throughout LA County, LA City. All other cities had been already implementing their programs. So we went brand new October 7, 2024. What is an STR? STR is the use of a primary residence or part of it for temporary lodging. This is the most important part. 30 consecutive days or less. Remember that. With partial days counted as full days. What are the requirements to apply? This is very important as well. You can only use a primary residence. So you have to stay there. It's your house. You must reside on the property a minimum of 275 days per calendar year, and you must reside in the primary residence or in an ADU or in a detached residential unit on a property. STR requirements. Must be the host primary residence. Operators are required to register annually. Unhosted bookings are limited to 90 nights per calendar year. So you don't have to be there for 3 months out of the year, but the other 275, you have to be on site. Hosted bookings are unlimited nights per calendar year. The temporary changes due to wildlife relief based on the wildfires that occurred effective January 2025 through May of this year, 2026. The board temporarily lifted certain STR restrictions. Hosts may now offer and advertise more than one STR. They may offer and advertise an ADU for use as an STR. They may offer and advertise vacation rentals for use as an STR. And they may offer unlimited hosted stays exceeding the current 90-day maximum. Now the caveat to this is we're going to verify that under these conditions, that individual has been truly affected by the fires. So just saying that, oh, I'm a fire victim, we're gonna do our due diligence to verify that they are victims of the fire. In that case, we'll be able to apply it accordingly. The Coastal Commission. Coastal zones in unincorporated areas like Maria del Rey, Santa Catalina Island, and parts of Santa Monica Mountains fall under the Coastal Commission jurisdiction. The ordinance affecting these areas require commission approval, not us, and local coastal program integration. This process is estimated to take up to 2 years. It's been 2 years already. Any STRs in this area, we don't regulate at all, and they're under the jurisdiction of the Coastal Commission. So a lot of times we'll get complaints or have had complaints from these areas, but the Coastal Commission is what regulates short-term rentals in this area. The hosting platform requirements. Platforms such as Airbnb, Vrbo, and others must display a valid STR registration number on their listings. Fines up to $1,000 per day may be imposed for violations on any hosting platform's requirements. Now, we're currently putting together our fining processes for the platforms. Since we're still brand new, we're still piecemealing and putting everything together to sort of enforce the platforms as well, because as you know, Airbnb, Vrbo, these platforms don't want to cut their money off. So now we're just starting to, we're getting letters approved where we can start focusing on the platforms, because in many cases, we'll email platform representatives and say, hey, by the way, we have this property that's doing an illegal STR. Could you please take it down? They just completely ignore us. So we're going to start focusing on and deep diving on the platforms. The application requirements, that's our website where we can go and get any information that you need. I'll also be able to leave, Ricardo and I can leave business cards, or we can give you our contact information where you can go to the site and you can read the ordinances, you can read any FAQs, anything like that on our site. You'd have to complete an STR registration certificate, affidavit. That's basically, I would say, well, basically, I'm going to do the right thing in short words. So a lot of times we're trying to go off of the honor system, but a lot of people have been manipulating that. So even though you have to fill that affidavit out and say, hey, I'm going to do the right thing, you also have to submit verification of residency. That includes showing that the electricity bills are in your name, property tax, different things like that that can verify that you are staying there. And you'll pay the annual STR certificate fee of $914. That's renewable annually if you're in good standing with us. This is our website where you can go based on that link, and we can provide that information to you today. This is what our site looks like, where you can get business license information, and you can check out the short-term rental information, FAQs, you can see our ordinance, and so forth. Just like I said, it provides all the basic information. We'll be able to elaborate further after this if you like. We have a new system, it's called GovOS. We went live July 15th of 2025, and that's our vendor that helps us to locate different listings that we may or may not see. We only have 2 inspectors for all of LA County and 1 clerk, and I'm the supervisor of the unit. So most of what we get is through complaints. Once we get a complaint, we have a spreadsheet that we document, and usually inspectors will go out within a few days to verify. Now, the typical complaints that we get is, there are a lot of people in and out. I've never seen these people before. And for this particular area, you have a lot of people who may start off doing short-term rentals, and when we locate them and find them, they'll revert to long-term. Now, 31 days or more, we can't touch them. So you may have a lot of new neighbors, but that particular property owner has long-term rentals, not short-term. So we can't touch them at all as long as they prove to us through showing us the leases that it's long-term rentals. Now, I wanted to also elaborate on our finding process. If one of the inspectors are out canvassing and we find a short-term rental, we knock on the door, we try to communicate, whether it's the guest or the property owner. If we find right off the bat that you're conducting an illegal short-term rental operation, we're gonna write that up and you're gonna get an initial $285 fine. You cannot list, you have to take down your listings immediately, and we want want you to pay this $285 fine immediately and start the process for applying. You cannot list while you're applying. And if you decide in any way that you say, well, you know what, I'm not gonna pay anything. After about 2 weeks, you don't pay and we still see that you're operating, it's a $2,000 fine. We'll issue that. A $2,000 fine usually gets the attention of property owners. They want to try to work with us. As I'm sure everybody knows, you can appeal. We have 10 days from the letter, the date of the letter, that property owner can go through the appeal process. And we'll let the appeal officer handle it based on our evidence of showing your listings, what you've done, our emails, all communication that we've had with you. After 60 days and you haven't paid that $2,000 plus that $285, I'm going to generate a referral to send you to collections. And once it's in collections hands, they're going to escalate it if you don't pay them to the district attorney's office. So we are actively enforcing the ordinance as it's written, and we want to encourage the residents of Rowland Heights, La Puente, Hacienda Heights. If you feel that someone's conducting a short-term rental in your neighborhood, on your block, verify one that you can submit a complaint to us and we'll come out and check it. Like I said, a lot of times it may be a long-term rental, and what we'll do is try to send a letter to you to tell you exactly what it is so we don't get the redundant complaints. Ricky, would you like to add anything? Are there any questions I can help you with? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is that money for?
That's,
Is it,
that's
a fee?
Yes, sir. That's a fee that the Board of Supervisors came up with, and it mainly it pays for the operations of our unit mainly based on so many applications that we were going to get. But they came up with that fee. That's $9.14 a year. If you get a permit every year annually, it'll renew.
I'm just curious because I used to have an Airbnb many, many years ago. And I don't remember any fee of $914. Just came up, so it's gone up.
Well, LA County Unincorporated, since October 7, 2024, that's when we
Oh, so this is just 1 year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're brand new.
So before that, there was no $914 fee?
No, sir. There was no ordinance or anything
Now there is, okay.
effectively enforcing any type of Airbnb activities in the area. Any other questions I can help you with? Yes, sir.
Besides Airbnb in Rowland Heights area, what other kind of short-term rentals are there that you're aware of?
Verbal. A lot of times they may be on WeChat, other platforms that we do not monitor. That's where the complaints come in. A lot of times you may have, considering the demographic, they may not go through Verbal or Airbnb, word of mouth. It could be things like that. So the complaints sort of help us out, or when the inspectors are out canvassing, they'll see or just go and look. And we have indicators to us that when we see certain things on the house, like keyboard to the door and things like that, those are sort of red flags to us in some cases that it's a possible Airbnb.
So they have to be registered through the state or the county before, so they can operate legally, right? They can't just do their
Yes,
own.
sir.
They can't do their own deal.
No, sir. It's you need to be permitted by us. 30 days or less. Anyone else today? Again, Ricardo and I are in the back. We have business cards or any information that you need. You can always reach out to us openly. We'll be happy to help. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to LA County Public Works, and they're going to talk about a couple new projects, well, continuing projects, and have some updates on them. So I believe, is it still Aaron?
Yes.
Okay. Aaron Mayak, and is it Patricia?
Patricia, yes.
Yes.
Patricia. They're going to be giving us a presentation, and I believe it's up already.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for staying late for us tonight. We have two exciting projects coming up. The SD office, Silva Solis, has funded two projects. The first project is mine. It's called Nearbank Drive. Basically, it's everything that's south of the cemetery is my project, and everything north is Patricia's. So if you could hit the, this is a map real quick. We have some handouts up front. If you want to take a look, get a better look at the streets. This is about 8.5 miles of streets. We're going to be coming in here. Go ahead. We're going to come in and we're going to grind off the top part of the asphalt. Our GMed department came in, took a look at the base and said it's solid, it's good. So we just have to scrape the top of the asphalt off, come back and put 1.5 inches of asphalt back on top. We're going to come in and we're going to root prune and maintain selected trees. I'd say we got about 30-35 trees where we have to root prune the trees so they're not breaking up the sidewalks, breaking up the curbs, breaking up the asphalt. We got some trees that we need to top off that are wild, that are in the parkway, so we need to maintain those. And then the concrete repairs, we got uplifted sidewalks, curbs, and gutters. And as I mentioned, we have 8.67 miles of roadway. And go ahead. This is a kind of a before and after of the streets that we fixed. So as you can see at the end, you're going to have nice smooth concrete and a nice even drive. I've noticed you got a couple of potholes and broken asphalt in that area, so that'll all be taken care of. Anything where it's broken down all the way to the base, we'll dig all the way down to the base underneath the asphalt. We'll re-put in new base, and then we'll put a new 4 inches of pavement on top of that. This is what we call accessible ramps at the corners. We have 107 of those in this area, so this is a very big area. These are bringing up those accessibility ramps to new ADA codes. It also helps with people when they're out walking their dogs at night or with a stroller with the kids, or the kids are on the bikes. So you're getting rid of all those broken curbs. This is what we mean when we're root pruning and maintaining the trees. As you can see on the right there, that's an old sidewalk that was broken up by some tree roots. So we're going to take out the roots, and we have a RMD here, is our road maintenance department. They're awesome. They will, if you have any questions, we can talk with them regarding trees and regarding some concrete too. We have 27 trees that are currently out there that we're going to have to take out and replace. Just because the tree roots, if we took out all the tree roots that are breaking everything up, the tree would tip over, so they wouldn't be safe. So that's why we got to take some trees out, and we're going to replace a minimum of 1 tree for 1, if not more. Just to reiterate what we talked about, the curb ramps and sidewalk repairs, replanting trees, and resurfacing the pavement. Okay, work. Summer of this year, R&D, which is our road maintenance department, is going to be out there with a contractor and with some inter-department work. They're going to come out and they're going to replace sidewalks. They're going to replace driveways that are broken up. They're going to replace curb ramps that are broken. And they're also going to root prune the trees, and they're going to replace the trees. That work will start in the summertime, June, July, and it'll last until next spring of 2027. The next one is in the 3rd quarter of 27, so we're thinking June, July, so summer of 27 is when we're going to be out and we're going to be redoing your asphalt drive. Here's my information. The information's also on the flyer. If you have any questions, I've got cards. I'm the project manager for this project, so the buck stops with me. If you have any questions, anything's going on, give me a call. I'm the person to talk to. Patricia? Oh, anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
I'm curious, these trees, how are the trees selected? Type of trees? Do they consult with anybody, or they just?
Oh no, we have an arborist, and the arborist comes out and looks at the trees and determines if we can save them or not. So when they say, okay, these trees, if we take out the roots, it's not going to be able to be saved, and we got to replace them.
You said you're going to replace 27. I'm just curious to know, how do you select those? there's trees? Do they
Our
go-
arborist has a selection of trees that they'll come out and they'll take a look at what's best in
Rowland
the
Heights has
area.
its own arborist?
LA County has its own arborist.
Okay.
Yeah, we have several. So when the RMD will actually come out and they'll meet with each individual owner and go over what tree's gonna be coming out, and I think sometimes they'll give you a selection of one or two if you even wanna pick the tree if that's possible.
They want me to pick the tree? I'd be glad to be involved.
You get a pick out of, they'll give you two options.
Okay.
You don't get to go and pick your own tree.
Oh, okay.
No.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia Partas. I'm the project manager for the other project, which is, next slide, please. It is Avenida del Cañada. It is, so my project is about 5.6 miles of roads north of the cemetery. So pretty much south of Calle Barcelona, all the way to Ember Drive. I have a list, and there's also a handout with the, sorry. Oh, sorry. Next slide. As Aaron mentioned, we are repaving the roads. We are also.
You have to keep it really close to you because they can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Really close to you.
So we are removing some trees, replanting. We are fixing some broken and uplifted sidewalks, curbs, gutters. As I said, it's about 5.6 miles of total roadway that we're going to be repaving. And at the end, we're going to replace and update the pavement markings and the traffic signage. So it's going to look like Calle Barcelona, which is, I guess, south of Colima Road. So if you want to take a look at the road that's going to be like yours, that's the one, Calle Barcelona. Aaron mentioned all the project benefits. It's pretty much, your neighborhood is going to look amazing. Also, our road maintenance department is going to come in with the contractor summer of 2026, performing all the concrete and the tree maintenance work. That's going to go on for about a year, plus or minus. Then we are going to be, well, another contractor, I should say, is going to repave the roadway, and that's going to happen fall 2027 to early 2028. And then at the end, all the pavement markings and the signage is going to be installed. And here's my contact information. I have business cards. Any questions?
A question?
Sure.
In your project and the gentleman's project before you, the two neighborhoods that you just spoke of, what year were those houses built in yours? What year were those houses
Great
built?
question. Do you know, Lisa?
'60s.
That's not usually a question we have to respond to.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
The only reason I'm.
Because we can look up and tell you when the last time the road was maintained.
Well, okay, how about that one? That's.
It was early 2000, it was 2002, the last time there was a slurry.
2002, yeah. 'Cause in our neighborhood across the street on the other side of Fullerton, I think our homes are 1960. I think it's been close to 30 years since they've been repaved, so I was wondering why this neighborhood was a little bit newer is getting attention before an older neighborhood, and how that is determined by their planning committees.
Well, every couple of years, our road maintenance department goes around the whole county and looks at the roads and gives it a rating. And so right now, our rating in the area that we're going into probably has more wear and tear on it than yours, is what I'm guessing right now. I can give you my card, you can email me and give me your address. I could look it up for you and let you know what your rating is for your street specifically, and then give you a kind of a feel for why it is they're going and you're not. Just so you know, both of our projects are going basically at the same time. So we are going to have a website set up for both of our projects for people to go in and look at, and it'll give you an idea of where we're working, when each month and kind of give you an idea where you can look for new construction coming up. Lisa has a.
I have a friend that lives in that area, and she's been there 47 years, the same house.
47 years?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
On near Bend.
That's a great neighborhood, by the way. I love that neighborhood. Anytime I get a chance to drive out to that job, I do. Beautiful houses out there. Any other questions or comments? We have a meeting coming up on March 10th. We're going to have an online meeting where we're going to give a lot more detail, talk schedule. We're working with our construction department to put together a phasing plan so we can kind of give you a brief overlay of what it's going to look like. Just so you know, with the maps, we're not doing all 8 miles at one time. So don't worry, we're not going to come in and take 8 miles and her 5.5 miles and say, okay guys, deal with it. We're going to be doing it in phases so that maybe you have to walk a block or two one day while we're grinding, because one day you'll grind and then they'll come in and they'll prep it, and another day they'll come out and pave it. So it's not one of the other projects where we're out and we're actually having to redo the base. This is pretty quick. And then R&D, they're very good about working with the local residents to let you know when they're going to come out there. And they will also not block off. They won't come into one intersection and take down all 4 corners when we're changing out the curbs. They'll take 2 at a time so that people can still get around and walk around. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to circle back because our Parks and Recs gentleman had stepped out, and he's back in, and he's going to give you some what's coming up at the parks.
Thank you, Yvette. Yeah, I snuck out, but just representing parks, my name is Josh. I'm a lead here at this park in particular, but just some updates about parks. I know Andrea went over our cultural events that we have this coming month. We do have our Lunar New Year event, and also this month we also have our Black History Month events too at our parks. Our park in particular, we had our Black History event already, but one of our parks in Rowland Heights, Carolyn Rosas Park, they'll have their Black History event this Thursday actually from 4 to 6 p.m. And that's their Black History event. And then also our Lunar New Year event here at our park is scheduled for February 19th. That's a Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And then along with some of our other local LA County parks, they'll be having their Lunar New Year event as well. One more other thing in our parks, all our LA County parks, we are looking for instructors to teach classes. One instructor in particular for our park here is we're looking for tennis instructors. So if you're interested or you know somebody who wants to be an instructor with LA County, you can give us their email address, or you can come to our park, send them to our park and get some more information about becoming an instructor for our LA County parks. And that's it. Any questions about our parks? Good, thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Even though we had 2 speakers, we're doing great on time. The only thing that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if any of you have noticed, and I should have remembered to bring it up when the Sheriff's Department was here, but Andrea is still here, has anybody else noticed the pop-up of marijuana stores along Colima Boulevard? Like 3 or 4 of them just popped up. And I don't know about you if it's a concern of yours or not, but I thought they weren't allowed in LA County. I was under the impression that they were not allowed in LA County. So that's something, if I don't remember next month when the sheriffs are here, please remind me that that's something we need to ask about. Yeah, I thought they weren't allowed in LA County. Yeah, we've had like 3 pop up on Colima.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Traffic problem on Jellic and Colima. The cars were lined up turning into that.
Oh, that's not good. Traffic on top of everything else? Oh
outrageous. No, just to address, like the main thing about cannabis and cannabis shops in unincorporated areas is that they are not allowed. The ordinance is still being drafted. Believe it or not, it's taking several years. So since the county unincorporated areas do not have an official ordinance yet, cannabis shops, retail stores are not allowed in the county because there is no regulatory framework. So if you see a pop-up or, a storefront here in Rowland Heights, it's illegal, plain and simple. So that needs to be called in to the sheriff's department. Because like I said, again, right now there is no regulatory framework, and so it's just plain illegal.
Okay, when I ran that Airbnb 10 years ago, there were tourists who come to stay in the area specifically for the weed dispensaries in Rowland Heights, just so you know. I mean, you think it's illegal.
And I forgot to bring that up, because I'm so
it's a
distracted
tourism
moving around
it's a tourism trip.
that, please remind me again. And so now, if you see it, please report. Who do we report it to? The sheriff's department or to who? The sheriff's department. So if you all see it like I see it, not just one of us need to call, all of us that see it. Okay? So let's be diligent on that.
Where are sheriffs patrolling if they haven't seen these?
I know, huh? I saw like one, and then I'm like, another one, and then another one. So you're absolutely right. That's all we need to bring it up next month.
That's a big sign.
It is a big sign that they put up there.
Yeah.
Anything else? Here, we have a few minutes. Voice your concerns so we can bring it up next time.
What is the STC going in at Rite Aid?
I don't have any confirmation with that. They've been using that as a staging facility for special events, like they did, New Year's and Christmas, and I think they're going to do something for the upcoming Chinese New Year. So they're using it kind of like a staging facility. I haven't heard what permanently is going in there. So.
Well, it's something, because there's a big sign.
Yeah, there's a big STC sign there, but I haven't heard anything concrete. Anything else? Back there?
What's going to happen at Puente Hills Mall?
I think Andrea touched on that. There's nothing definitive. We were at the city council meeting for that BESS, the battery storage facility, and the City of Industry City Council was definitely saying they had no plans for a data center there. I don't necessarily believe them, but they said definitely there was no plans for it, but I haven't heard what's coming there. As soon as I hear, I'll let you all know. Anything else? If not, our next meeting is March 9th. And so tell a friend, bring a friend, and I'm not sure who we have scheduled. I'm not sure what we have scheduled. We'll let you know in the next couple of weeks. But thank you for coming. Drive safely. Have a good rest of February. Thank you.
If you're not getting our emails, please give me your email. And if you signed up for our newsletter but you're not getting emails, try emailing us. Sometimes we get blocked into spam. So if you email rhcccc4rh@gmail.com, it helps to make sure that you get those emails. And follow us on Instagram.
Thank you.
Thank you.